At the ninth spot this week on the countdown is Victony and Shak with that hit song, Absolute Fire. Now, last week, this song was at number 10, but this week it has moved one spot up the countdown to number 9. But before we get into the music video, how about I shock you by saying that we've in fact got Victony right here in the studio, and we're going to be talking about his music and talking about a little bit of his personal life. How are you doing, Victony? How does it feel to have you here in the studio and your music featuring Shak being at the 9th spot?
I'm fine, I'm excited.
So you've got your song Stubborn featuring Shak, and it's been on the countdown for a good number of weeks. Like, it's moved all the way around it. How does that, how was it rather working with Shak? How was, the entire creative process? Also, about your album, what's the message that you would like to convey to your listeners with, that body of work, Stubborn?
Yeah, so with Stubborn, the session actually started in LA. I was in LA, that's when I was recording some of the songs in the album, and that's when I made Stubborn. So after I made it, I knew, because it's a new sound, and I knew I needed somebody who's like, really prominent in the Afrobeat space and is like a very strong household name to kind of like just bring that balance. Someone who's also authentic as well. So obviously Shak came to mind because it's like, it fits his soundscape really well. And then I reached out to him and, he just asked me what the song was about, and we kind of like just bonded and just made it happen, so yeah.
So growing up, you were influenced by the likes of Davido, Wizkid, M.I, and Fowls. How have these influences, shaped up your style and your music as well?
I think one thing is certain about like Wizkid and Davido, like their come-up stories, one that influences like every young artist in a way that Wizkid and Davido making it at such a young age. You being young and coming up, you also want to like be like them, right? So it's evidence that they influence a lot of us, like new school artists. I started off as a rapper. A lot of people don't know that, but I started off rapping, and Fa was one of the artists that found that balance between like Afrobeats and like rapping, how to make rap really commercial. And with what I'm doing now, I obviously need that knowledge, switching from a rapper to singing. M.I too, I listened to a lot of M.I.'s album, like, coming up. So yeah.
So A Benz was your first single and your major introduction into the music scene. Can you, share with us the idea, the message behind the song, and how it has been significant to your journey and your music career so far?
A Benz, that's when youngsters had a challenge going up on Instagram. And yeah, I just wanted to do mine, but I guess it was a good cover, I would say. So he had attention, and yeah. He kind of like just helped me build my community from the start, right? Because it gave me more following on Instagram, and pretty much everything I've done today is Instagram started that, like building that small community on Instagram and believing like, okay, I'm going to be a superstar one day because these few people believe in me. So yeah, it did impact positively.
Your song Soweto, gained a lot of traction on TikTok especially, and it was further, remixed by Rema and Don Toliver. How did it feel seeing that single was even topping the charts internationally? And how did it even come about, that collaboration in the first place?
Yeah, it felt good because Soweto changed my life, right? So changed my life in the sense that I was able to like travel to places that I didn't believe like I'll get to in a very short period of time. The song was really like very successful in late 2022 and 2023. We wanted to like maintain that success. So Don Toliver and Rema are like very big names, and the sound like really fits what they do as well. It's not far from what they're used to. So it's kind of like an easy pick, yeah.
So you've been signed to Mainland, Block Party and Jungle Records for a minute now. How has it been going through the journey? What challenges have you faced? And how have you even been able to overcome such challenges?
Yeah, I know that's off Wikipedia, right? But I'm independent. Yeah, I just had a collaboration with Mainland Block Party. That was my very first project, but I've been independent, or I've had collaborations with a few teams obviously, but I'm very independent. Outlove You, that's my label. it to take full shape soon, but we're in the works. But shout outs to the plug though. They're my management currently. You know, been working for like since the project with Mainland Block Party. So yeah.
So what advice would you give aspiring musicians who look up to you? And what do you think is essential to, you know, maintain a spot in today's music?
To everybody who's on the come up, you know, I think one thing is very key. And this is the answer to like both questions. It's just being yourself, right? When you're yourself, it's easy to, you know, be authentic, and authenticity is the #1 criteria to sell in today's world. Like, you know, in the world of music that we live in today, I say this because people want to connect to something just deeper than how good your music is, how well crafted it is. Like, you know, your story, once you have the story, you're able to attract people who's lived like similar lives, and that's how you develop your own fan base, which is the most important thing. So just be yourself and the rest will follow.
Well, thank you so much, Victony. It's been absolutely amazing hanging with you and talking about your music especially. Make sure that you cop the album Stubborn. With that being said, let's get back to the countdown. And this week at number 9, Victony and Ashake, Stubborn.